On tap, Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light.
Better beer authority, better beer.
I'm James Knott. This is your Better Beer Authority. Today, we're doing something different. We are doing the Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light challenge. Of course, I can't point to them because even I don't know which one is which. We've had our very special, what do you want to be called? Helper, assistant,
Secret cameraman.
secret. Pour the beers while we were out of the room in solitary confinement. And so we don't know which is in which glass, but we're gonna make some guesses here. If you go to a store and you have to choose between Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Coors Light, I want you to first hold up your card of which one you're most likely to buy. All right, we have 3 Miller Lights and a Coors Light. Chef, why are you going to go to Miller Lite first?
You know, the funny thing at Coors Light, I really haven't had Coors Light in quite some time. The Bud Light, it gives me a headache after drinking. I mean, obviously, any of these 3, I'm going to drink more than 4 of these. I'm going to drink quite a few of them, and Miller Lite, I think, has the best drinkability in my opinion.
Now, Joby, when you same decision here. When you go to the store and you buy it, I mean, is there one that you would shy away from between the 3 of them?
Given the choice between the 3 of these, James, it would be Bud Light. If I go to the store and for whatever reason they're out of Miller Lite and they're out of Coors Light and Bud Light was all they had, then I'd pick it up. But for whatever reason, Bud Light seems to be on the bottom totem pole.
Okay. So everyone show which one is the one you'd least likely buy if you went to the store. You'd least likely buy Coors Light. So 3 Bud Lights and a Coors Light for least likely buy. Okay. So as you were tasting the beers, Scott, did any of the beers stick out to you color-wise?
No,
or carbonation-wise?
Pretty all well matched. I think A looks like it's a little bit more carbonated right now, and I don't know, maybe B. C looks like it's the least carbonated.
Like when you were looking at the beers, did you look at the beers? Were you able to like even fathom a guess based on looks?
Not really.
No, I mean, the one thing that I noticed, and you can still kind of see, I don't know if it's with everybody's, but C seems to, but C
B for him is lacing.
B has better lacing, but for me and for Joby here, we got a little bit of lacing here.
I mean, visually, James, they look identical. I mean, you could set these 3 in front of me and you can tell me they're the same beer and I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
I'm baffled.
Yeah.
I'm baffled.
I think
It's tough. There's one that I really don't like.
On taste, I think C tastes the least like beer.
Okay.
I mean, for me,
everyone tastes C.
C is the one that I feel like is probably. Yeah.
I just think it's like watered down.
Which one, does any of them seem to have more flavor than the others?
I think B has, to me, I get more of like almost like a caramely flavor, a little bit.
I'd say B has more flavor than C for sure.
Does anyone have a favorite out of these 3? Can you distinguish enough that, like, if you were going to go to one glass?
I think that's the crazy thing. Lining all 3 of these up together, they're just very, very similar. I don't know. I think I would go with B just because, again, we're doing these craft brew shows. It has a hint more flavor.
That's a small hint.
But it's I mean,
that's a reach.
It is a reach. But I think I would, if I were to go with it, that's what I would think.
Joby, is there one that you would lean to just based on taste?
It'd have to be A or B. They're almost identical to me. And then C kind of stands out, like I said earlier, just
watered down.
Yeah. It doesn't have much of anything.
You know, usually when I have a Miller Lite, I'm going to be drinking it straight from the bottle or straight from the can. Coming out of the glass, I mean, compared to all these other great beers we've been drinking, how do these compare, Scott? Like, to some of those beers.
They don't compare. I mean, it's a hard comparison to make because these beers aren't exactly made for their robust aromas and their citrusy overtones. I mean, these are made to be drinkable beers that you can have a session with, and the beers that we're talking about generally aren't session beers.
So, Joby, how much of this is marketing?
I'd say a lot of it, James. I mean, you either grow up on something, you see a commercial you like, your one buddy drinks it, so you're going to drink it. You have a bad experience with one, like it gives him headaches, If it didn't give him headaches, he might drink it more. I mean,
But I think probably the reason why it gives me headaches is because I drink so much of it.
right.
I mean,
Anytime you drink 15
pretty
beers.
much I can get headaches from all three of these, I'm sure.
But I mean, I think it's all marketing, and with the non-craft beer drinker, I mean, that's all they do. I mean, they're trying to catch your eye. They're trying to get the catchy slogan, something that's going to stand out in your mind that when you go to a grocery store, you're going to say, hey, I remember that commercial. I don't really like beer, but let's give something to try. I remember that Bud Light commercial because they got the whatever they have. I don't even know what their commercials are right now. So I think a lot of it is marketing. I'd be curious to see what goes into making all three of these beers because I'm pretty sure it's probably about the same ingredients. I'd like to see how I know they probably won't divulge their recipe
Is
or
Bud Light rice and Miller
Yeah.
Lite corn?
Yeah, Bud Light is rice and Miller Lite is corn as the adjunct.
what about Coors Light,
I don't know.
Don't know on that one. Okay, last chance to sip, last chance to smell. All right, we are back. We took a few minutes to taste the beers and smell them one more time just to make sure we had it right. We locked in our answers. All right, I want everyone to reveal their answer for A.
Ooh.
All right, 3 Miller Lights and a Coors Light. And the answer is?
Coors Light.
Oh man!
That is hilarious. I switched
Well, I
it.
guess I know this one's wrong. Answer B is?
I already had Coors. Yeah.
Miller Lite.
Oh,
Joey!
you are a BMC douchebag.
Joey, the BMC douchebag.
Yeah, boys. Look at that.
So I got one right.
Look at that.
All right, and the answer to C is?
I don't even know what I had.
Bud
now.
Light.
I had them all wrong.
Why did you have them all wrong?
I don't know.
So out of 12 guesses, we only had 5 right.
And 3 of them were Joby. Nice work, man.
Statistically, that's guessing.
Well, I mean, here's my thing.
Give us your logic.
Here's
Joey.
my logic. I've always thought, and you always told us, or you told us before show to not talk about our preconceived notion of these beers. In my mind, I've always thought Miller Lite was watered down, and when I first tasted C,
Miller Lite?
or I'm sorry, Bud Light
Yeah.
has always been watered down. And when I first tasted C, I was like, that doesn't taste like much, if anything. So
That was a no-brainer.
that's probably Bud Light for me.
To me, that was a no-brainer. This was easily
I got all
Bud
3
Light.
wrong.
I
I
could
did not know it was
recognize
Bud.
Bud Light.
For A and B, they both kind of have like that down-home beer taste, like old school beer flavor. Excuse me. A little bit of a beer aroma, like smelling your dad's beer, taking a sip out of your dad's beer when you're younger. Just that nostalgia beer factor for me.
But how did you choose
Well,
Coors and Miller?
I just thought
I
B.
had 2 right and I switched it.
I just thought B, this is what I normally drink. For me, I was like, okay, I drink Miller Lite always. What tastes like I'm sitting at home on Sunday having a beer?
I mean, I checked off the Bud Light almost immediately because I was thinking of that as like the lighter bodied
Right.
of the 3 beers. Then when I went to these 2 beers, to me, A had a little bit more flavor. And, I don't drink Coors Light that often. So I was thinking the most flavor compared to the watered down version was Miller Lite in my mind. But I guess I'm wrong. The most flavor is Coors Light in my mind, based on what we're doing today. That is our show. We're not even as good as just guessing 50-50. But the Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light challenge is over. Let us know what you think. Do you have a favorite that you always buy? Do you think one of them tastes better? Let us know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. I'm James Knott, and this is your better BMC authority. You are a BMC douchebag.
Better beer authority.